If you're looking for a dashcam under rupees 3000, then this is the first option that you should consider. We have been using this dashcam for the past few weeks, and here are some things that you should know about it. The first thing that we like about the Boat Hive Dashcam E1 is that everything that you need to assemble this thing comes in the box itself. It has adhesive hooks, it has the cables, it has the adapter, and even a pry tool to make sure that the cable goes underneath the panels and gives a very neat look when you finish it. And that is extremely important because nobody likes to have wires all about their car. So installation took us all of roughly 10 minutes, and since then it's worked perfectly. After installing the camera, downloading the app and connecting it, can you begin using it? Not at all, because this thing does not have any inbuilt storage. So you have to purchase a micro SD card. And will any micro SD card do? Not at all. It needs a class 10 U3 or higher. And in our unit, we have a SanDisk 128 GB and it cost us rupees 2000. And this thing costs rupees 2800. With the card in place, you can use the app to go in and feed in your registration number for your car and then begin using the camera. We used it in daylight conditions and in the evening and night also. And one thing that was consistent throughout was that everything that is immediately in front of the camera's field of view is highlighted perfectly. If you pause the video, you can read the registration numbers of the vehicles in that space. But the peripheral vision is not so great, and the chances of reading the registration plate numbers of cars and bikes on either side depends entirely on the light. It is best in the day, and the quality decreases as you move into the night. And of course, speed is also a variable. So if you want to get the best shot, it is best to keep the subject directly in front. Now, is that a disadvantage? Not in most cases, but in some cases, yes. But you also have to remember that this is the most basic camera in their range and it is under rupees 3000. So for that value, it's passable. Some of the cheap Chinese dashcams, they just stop recording when the card is full. The Boat does not do that. What it does, it rewrites over the old files. And of course, it also uses the app to allow you to set a limit on how much duration each video should be. Right now we've set it at 3 minutes, so each video is 3 minutes. So it records 3 minutes, cuts it, then moves on to the next piece and so on. One more feature that we found extremely useful was the parking feature. With that enabled, even if the car is stationary, it will record a time lapse for up to 24 hours. And that is extremely useful because it does not take up a lot of space. Plus, it also lets you know exactly what was going on around your car when it was parked. It also has a third feature that we haven't tested yet, and we hope we don't get to test it because it is related to crashing the car. Now, if the dashcam detects a G-force in excess of a certain parameter, it immediately starts recording for up to 1 minute so that you can see exactly what transpired immediately after the crash. Sounds like a useful feature, but fingers crossed, hopefully we don't get to test it. The last thing that you need to know about the E1 is that it records audio also. So to summarize it, under 3000 rupees, you get a camera that records only the front part of the vehicle. It has a native app. The card is not included. You have to buy it separately, and any micro SD card will not do. There is a certain spec to it, and interestingly, it may cost as much as the camera itself. If you are unhappy with the kind of quality that we have been showing you, these were filmed using this actual camera, then you have the option to upgrade to other models within this price range, because the top of the line model goes up to rupees 10,000. There's a model in between and this one. Now the highlight of the 10,000 rupee model is that it gets a camera both for the front of the car and for the rear. And if you're unhappy with this kind of quality, then you have to go for that because it supports more than 4K, I believe.